The Democratic Party, I do think, understands that they are at an existential moment. Parties don't have to survive. The Whigs came and went and others, and they understand they're not going to win with the AOC wing.
Why is it that the Democrats didn't look at the reasons they lost and then try to come more to the middle? Instead,
they're doing it finally.
Not AOC, not
On the latest episode of Club Random, things heated up fast as Bill Maher sat down with fitness guru and outspoken personality Jillian Michaels. One of the most explosive moments, a fiery debate over Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her potential role in the Democratic Party's future, specifically 2028. Maher didn't hold back, dropping some serious truth bombs about AOC's chances and the direction of the DNC. While Michaels pushed back hard, playing the role of sharp-witted devil's advocate, sparks flew, opinions clashed, and the tension was real. There's a lot to break down from this fiery exchange, so hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it.
He's the front runner, followed close, I guess not a close second, but then
that's just name recognition.
Okay, fair, and one would hope, honestly, because I've been underwhelmed by her for quite some time, whether you like her or not.
AOC. You're talking about Kamala?
Yeah.
Oh, totally underwhelming.
But then the next one in line is AOC.
I mean, I voted for her, but totally underwhelming.
The conversation took a sharp turn when the duo dove into the fallout from the recent ICE arrest and the Democratic meltdown that followed. Maher didn't mince words. He slammed the DNC for essentially sabotaging themselves by spotlighting Kamala Harris, arguing that their outrage was self-inflicted. But then came the spark. Jillian Michaels, cool as ever, casually threw AOC into the mix, suggesting the Congresswoman was cut from the same cloth as Kamala. And just like that, boom, match lit. Maher raised an eyebrow, leaned in, and the entire vibe shifted. You could almost feel the temperature rise. It was one of those "wait, did she really just say that?" moments that blindsides you. From there, tensions skyrocketed. Hard truths came flying, and egos definitely took some heat. What happened next? Let's just say you don't want to miss it by now.
Why is it that the Democrats didn't look at the reasons they lost and then try to come more to the middle? Instead,
they're doing it finally.
Not AOC, not Bernie.
It's no secret that Jillian Michaels leans conservative, but at this point, it's clearly about more than just politics. You can see it in her tone. She's not mocking the Democrats. She's pitying them. And honestly, who can blame her? Like I've been saying on this channel for months, the Democratic Party looks like it's on a slow, steady march toward political extinction. Let's not pretend this hasn't happened before. American political history is full of once powerful parties collapsing under the weight of their own delusion. Michaels isn't gleeful about it. She's watching a ship sink while the crew is still insisting nothing to see here. Maher, for his part, argues that the DNC is shifting toward the center, but that claim doesn't hold much water. Jillian pushes back hard, and rightfully so. King. Then she drops the million-dollar question that clearly gets under Maher's skin. If the Democrats are truly moving to the center, then why are they still pushing AOC? Maher's answer, let's just sit, might not be what you expect.
He can be so funny. I think it was him with the funniest line. He said, AOC is practically a police sketch drawing of what Americans don't want for president.
Nailed it. The Democrats are still riding the woke wave at full speed, no signs of slowing down. If they weren't, someone like AOC wouldn't even be in the conversation for national leadership. Let's be real, AOC makes Kamala Harris look moderate by comparison. Say what you will about Kamala, but at least half the time, you couldn't even pin down where she stood. She was vague, calculated, elusive. On a woke scale from 1 to 10, Kamala's maybe a 4, but AOC, she's a solid 9 and proud of it. So when people say the Democratic Party is shifting to the center, you have to ask, based on what? Exactly. Certainly not policy, certainly not rhetoric, and definitely not the people there. Elevating, and Naomi. Please, let's not even open that can of hair gel. Here's a guy who spends more time sculpting his image than dealing with the mess in his own state. That's not centrism, that's style over substance. Bottom line, the DNC isn't shifting. They're stuck in an ideological echo chamber, hoping that flashy slogans and influencer vibes can substitute for real leadership. Spoiler alert, they can't.
But it's 2025. The election isn't for 3 years. This means nothing.
You know what it is?
This means nothing.
It's the fact that I thought
they're not going to do it. I would bet my house on that. They are not going to go that route.
I get Itmar's optimism is admirable. Really, it is. But let's be honest, we all can't be wrong. Don Lemon was on Club Random not long ago, and when Maher asked him who he saw stepping up after Kamala Harris, he didn't even pause. He went straight to AOC. Another guest on Real Time echoed the same thought. And now, here comes Jillian Michaels, saying the exact same thing. This isn't some fringe theory anymore, it's becoming a pattern, a theme. AOC's name keeps coming up for a reason. Personally, I see the future shaping up as a heavyweight showdown between AOC and Gavin Newsom, and if I had to bet, I'd say AOC takes the crown. Why? Because while Newsom brings the polish, AOC brings the fire, and in today's political climate, fire is what turns heads and drives momentum. And let's not forget, nobody thought Kamala Harris stood a chance either. Yet somehow, she ended up leading the DNC straight into the abyss. So if Maher is still expecting logic, tradition, or party strategy to dictate the DNC's next move, he might want to brace himself, because the next surprise candidate is already warming up in the wings.
The Democratic Party wants to survive. Every party does. As they say in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. I see it out here with the groundhogs in my lawn. I see it with the
Democrats.
With the ducks. I have ducks, and they go in the pool, and I yell at them, and they get out.
Maher's convinced that an AOC ticket would be political suicide, and he's banking on the DNC being smart enough not to go down that road. But here's the thing. He seems to be forgetting his own history with this party. If past behavior is any indicator, they don't listen to him. Remember when he first raised red flags about Joe Biden's cognitive decline? Total silence. The DNC pushed forward anyway. Then, 2 years ago, he sounded the alarm on Kamala Harris, calling her unelectable, uninspiring, and unrelatable. And what did the party do? They doubled down and pushed her even harder. Now, here we are again, and Maher's hoping they'll take his advice when it comes to AOC. Let's be real, that's wishful thinking.
The Democratic Party, I do think, understands that they are at an existential moment. Parties don't have to survive. The Whigs came and went, and others, and they understand they're not going to win with the AOC wing.
Interestingly, AOC's approval rating is at an all-time highs, so much so that she's even edging out Donald Trump in some recent polls. That's no small feat. People aren't just supportive anymore. They're captivated by the AOC brand. She's young, energetic, unapologetically bold, and wears her working-class background like a badge of honor. In a political era driven by relatability and social media clout, that's a winning combo. Is she the most intellectually rigorous figure on the scene? Not exactly, but let's be honest. Intellectual heft hasn't been a requirement in politics for a while now. What matters today is optics, energy, and the ability to craft a compelling narrative. And AOC has all three down. Cold, Don Lemon, and others have echoed this shift. The DNC, rather than overanalyzing and clinging to outdated strategies, might want to start paying attention to where the energy is.